thought that the Kane Finn Balor thing was
mind-blowing.
Yeah, short-sighted, almost unbelievable. You got a whole roster full of people, and you do that. I mean, I've asked around, and people who even always defend Vince have been like, there's no explanation, there's no defense. He just whiffed. It's like, I have no idea why they bothered to have him beat AJ Styles. I mean, what's the point of that now?
I don't know. Maybe AJ beats him at Survivor Series. I have no idea.
What does that have to do with anything? Why should he be, if he was going to...
I'm trying to think like they do. Trade-off.
Okay. AJ Styles is being groomed for Jinder Mahal in the championship, okay? So he really shouldn't lose, okay? But if Finn Balor is getting a shot at Brock Lesnar, then you can say, okay, well, pick our poison, right? So you can justify it. But if Finn Balor is getting a shot at Brock Lesnar, what was he doing getting squashed by Kane?
Well, honestly, what I think is going through Vince's mind is that AJ is getting a shot at Jinder in December, Finn's getting a shot at Jinder in January, so what the hell? We'll do it right now and we'll build him up again later. Like he always does.
Yeah, but it was one thing if it was back and forth and it was like a close match. It wasn't even that. It was a destruction by the big guy. If anything, you have to prove right now that Finn can beat the big guy, if he's going to be in the ring with Lesnar. I don't see how you can possibly justify Finn Balor against Brock Lesnar. I think that they've just thrown that away. Because no one's going to buy, no one really was going to buy that match anyway. I mean, it was already like a struggle, but you've killed any chance of...
I know, but you're thinking about this like Dave Meltzer or anybody else with a brain. I mean, we're talking Vince McMahon, who probably sat there and thought, I need to get Kane ready for Braun, everybody's going to forget this by January, so let's just do it.
Forget a squash?
Yeah.
Forget that he's not competitive? That's ridiculous.
Well,
I mean, it's like...
I can't even remember what he booked last week.
Okay, well, if that's the point, then why did he beat AJ Styles?
I don't know, because he's a Raw guy on a Raw pay-per-view. I don't know. You're asking me to try to, think like Vince?
There's no answer to this. If Finn Balor was going to get squashed by Kane, he sure as hell shouldn't have beaten AJ Styles. If he was going to beat AJ Styles, they could have put 30 different guys. They could have put Matt Hardy in that spot. They could have put Jason Jordan in that spot. They could have put Luke Gallows in that spot. There's a whole roster full of people they could have put in that spot with Kane if they wanted Kane to squash somebody. Finn Balor was the only guy on the entire roster, even more than Rollins. I mean, you could beat Rollins, you could beat Ambrose, because the reality is none of those guys beat AJ Styles the night before. What's the point of giving him any momentum if you're going to kill it the next day? And what's the point of taking anything away from AJ? And I know they tried to give it back tonight, but why did you have to take anything away from AJ to give back when you're not going to do anything with the guy who beat him? I mean, it's like it's just ridiculous. It makes no sense whatsoever. And I mean, even if you're going with the justification that it was a tough match, but they didn't even book it as a tough match. If the idea, I know the idea is that you got to get Kane over right now. But like I said, he could squash 30 different guys. That's the only guy on the roster, realistically, except for Roman Reigns, who's not even there tonight, that he shouldn't have squashed, or shouldn't have beaten, I would say, let alone squashed. There's a couple of guys he shouldn't have squashed, but I can't think of anyone else, that I know they're getting him ready for Strowman, and they have to get, he did have to win, but as soon as I saw like Finn Balor come out, I was just like, I can't believe they're doing this, because it's like, why did they even bother with that match the night before and have Finn win? Because whatever he gained by winning, if he started out as a 5 and beating AJ made him an 8, now he's a 2. So what good is?
So, as much as you're upset about Kane destroying Finn Balor, let's not forget that before he destroyed Finn Balor, he came down and killed all of the members of the Shield and AJ. Just destroyed all 3 of them all by himself. Laid them all out like they were dead. And then cut this big promo on Braun. Says he liked what he heard about Braun. He had to see it for himself. He's getting the what treatment. Said he saw it and Braun was nothing but a pile of trash, and so he tossed him to a garbage truck where he belonged. He said his Braun was being crushed to death, looked into his eyes and saw fear. And he says he'll always be Raw's only real monster, and he wants competition now or else. So out comes Finn Balor, and they basically had a prelim guy versus Kane match. Finn sold the entire match, brief comeback, 8-3 choke slams, pinned, clean in the middle of the ring. They also noted during this match that Michael Cole said, "You can only imagine the shape that Braun is in after being compacted in that garbage truck. He's probably going to be out a few weeks."
Yeah,
That's what they said. He'll probably be out a few weeks. He was compacted in a garbage truck.
Well, trying to think when they'll probably bring him back, because one would expect that they would put Kane against Strowman at Survivor Series, which would be an 8th match.
I don't think they're going to do it there. It's all Raw versus SmackDown.
Then the next pay-per-view would be Royal Rumble for Raw, I think, unless they do I don't think they're doing a January pay-per-view.
Yeah, so or they could do a TV match. Who knows?
They killed Finn Balor for a TV match?
I don't know.
Jeez.
I mean, maybe they'll do it at Survivor Series, but the way they're putting the show together doesn't seem like there's just going to be a Raw versus Raw match, but who knows?
Maybe they could do, yeah, well, I think the timing, I think if they wait until late January, it'll be just, no one will care. That's too long for that angle. That angle will have worn off. Yeah, the timing would be right for Survivor Series. I don't think that we still got about several more weeks, but whatever. I would think that that's what it's going to be.